So Simon, you use the Waratah Easy Pipe and adjuster stove, so no concreting?
No concreting, no. We where the ground is good going, we're able to drill a small pilot hole.
Yep.
And then force it in with our equipment.
Yep.
And then it's just a simple matter of putting this adjuster stay on and tensioning up that rod at the bottom, which acts as
Creates like a rigid triangle, yeah.
a rigid triangle.
Yeah.
And
yeah. So and you're not disturbing the earth when you're doing it too.
No.
So you got
No.
And how long would that take you to put up?
Oh gee, not very long. 15 minutes.
15 minutes, yeah.
Tops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're good to go. You can go on and fence.
Yeah, so
fence the job. You're not waiting for concrete to set and that sort of stuff. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
We're able to just run our top and bottom. Run our top wire as a guide, and then we're able to go along. Put in all our GeoStar posts, and every 5th post is a maxi.
Yep.
So that helps add a bit more strength to the fence.
Uh-huh.
And then we're able to tie off our netting here. And with our machines, we're able to just drive along and roll the wire out and clip it on as we go.
Yeah.
And we're able to strain it up. And then, most importantly, run a bottom wire for extra support, so nothing can get under it.
Yeah.
And as you can see here, this is a pretty good example of what you get.
Yep. Yeah, so you've used the 15, 150 high.
That's right.
With the 15 spacing, so 15 line wires and 15 centimetre spacings. And that's obviously important so kangaroos can't push their way through.
That's right.
You know, they can't get their shoulders through, can't push their way through. And also in this ground, where it's quite gravelly, they can't dig underneath. So,
that's right.
And when you get sandy ground, you have the same fence with an apron on the bottom. So, you know, they come to try and dig or dig under, that apron stopping them from digging under the fence as well, which is their natural, I guess what they do naturally is they try and either get through or get under a fence. They won't try and get over the top of most of the time,
Yeah, we find with those smaller spacing here, the 15 centimetre, they can't get their head through. Quite often if they can get their head through, they'll just push and push till they get the whole body through.
Yeah.
But where they don't like sticking their nose through, it just eliminates any of that, and the fence just isn't stretched or showed sign of damage.
Yeah. And does it work for your client? Is he?
It is, yeah. Look, we're up against a reserve over there.
Yep.
And they'd had their run in the joint for a lot of years, so we found that it worked extremely well.
Yeah.
There was, we could see great tracks where they've been just going up and back, trying to get in to get all the valuable feed that we'd established. So it was a win-win for the client. Yeah.
So you're putting in pasture now. They're not competing with the pasture. They're getting
we
run more stock.
Yeah, they'd bared out that area, and it was just cape weed left. And so this year we're able to cut hay off it. So an instant turnaround.
Really good.
So,
So Simon, you've used the Waratah Geo and Geo Maxi posts.
Yeah.
What, one in every three or five?
The Maxi, we're putting one every 5, and our spacings vary on how much pressure there are between the posts. But your GeoStars, these are 2.1s, I think, so they're in 600.
Yep.
And these Maxis every 5th on this, and as you can see, they are, what are they, 50% bigger than the...
Yeah, well, they're twice the size of the...
Twice the size, yeah. So it just helps add a bit more strength to the fence. Obviously, being a bit taller, there's more weight. So, and then again, we by putting the netting on the outside of that post, using these Geo clips.
Yeah. So how are you finding the Geo clips?
Oh, they're great. They're simple to use.
Yep.
And are nice and strong, and there's just no movement in there at all.
Yeah.
So and it's a flush mount, and it just gets rid of any risk of wear on the wire.
Yep.
And no rust points will develop.
Yep. And you're allowing that fence to move as well, which is the desired outcome, so it can expand and contract under pressure or hot and cold weather. So and maintenance is very important. So you're reducing the maintenance that you might have to put in a fence down the track by doing that as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think you save by using the Geo clip against tying off?
Oh, yeah, look, you're saving a lot of time.
Yeah.
The product's already made for you, and it's just simple action of just sliding it through the hole and clipping it on.
Yep.
And rather than someone just there twisting and twisting and twisting, and there's nothing sticking out, so no animals can cut themselves.
Yeah.
It's a neat product. It's easy to install.
Yep.
And looks great.
All right. And the added strength and ductility of the Geo post, you find that important when you're driving and that sort of thing, or you hit rock and.
Yeah, quite often. Yeah, we're putting quite a lot of force on these posts to get them in the ground, and sometimes in these areas we can hit rocks or roots, and sometimes we just lean on it a bit harder, and in they go. We're not getting any snapping or unnecessary bending. So yeah, they're up to the challenge, that's for sure.
Yeah, great. Well, Simon, I see you've put in a Waratah rabbit netting fence here in the long life blue wire. What's the farmer trying to achieve in this situation?
Yeah, again, this client felt that if he was going to put in a fence, he wanted to keep everything out, and this just about keeps out the sea breeze as well. So what we're able to do is keep rabbits and foxes there. So we're able to have, he wanted to have chooks or birds or something like that. So we're able to tick a few boxes, and then by having that top wire, anything that crawls up or cattle to lean over it, that's going to stop that as well. So this is 115 rabbit net, I think, or 105. Sorry, 105.
Yes, that sounds right. Yeah.
So we're able to do, I think, nearly a couple of k's here, and staff have done a bloody brilliant job. And
yeah, I like the way they've drawn the wires there. Very, very well done.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's effective.
And I see from down the track there, you've had some success keeping the roos out with this one as well.
Yeah. As we put up the fence again, there was plague proportions of kangaroos here, and we put the fence up, and the guys were there, and there's a herd of roos coming across the paddock, and they sort of all hit it and stopped and turned around and cleared out.
Yeah.
We've eliminated, I'd say 95 to over 95% of the kangaroo population on this property.
Okay.
And again, we establish pasture here. It's one of the other things we do, and that's not a cheap exercise. And the customer thought that if he was going to establish pasture, he didn't want feral animals eating it, spreading disease and things like that. So it was a win-win.
And again, the other thing you've done here is you've used the long life wire, so you'll get 1.5 times the life out of this as against heavy gal, or 9 times the life of standard gal. So again, very important around your maintenance, that you're not coming back and having to repair or replace the fence in a short period of time. What you mentioned establishing the pasture. What other things do you do, Simon?
We're quite broad ranging. We help. We sort of put our hand to a lot of things. Pasture is becoming a big part of our business. Pasture establishment, pasture maintenance, fertiliser, spraying, that type of thing. We also help with water solutions, solar pumps. Windmills is a big one. We're doing a lot of windmills anywhere from October right through to March, or the break of the season. We travel far and wide to do that, which is a bit of a specialty. So yeah, and then the fencing.
That's your real love. That's your real love, isn't it?
Yeah,
fencing,
we do a lot of fencing. Yeah. And to be able to work in this region, and it's specialised fencing. A lot of our customers are very specific, so it's important we take great care and detail in doing that.
Yeah. Okay, thanks for that.
No worries.